Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of That Arrow Show. Tonight, promises kept. Of course, we're going to bring you the good, going to bring you the bad, and you know we got some laurels for you. So the synopsis for tonight's episode. We're on part 2, A Slave's Journey to Get Back His Son. Oliver is there tagging along to help him through this mission. And back in Star City, turns out there's a new player in town. Goes by the name of Dragon. He's dealing drugs. Also turns out Diggle's getting his drugs from this guy as well. So, let's jump into our review for this episode. What we got?
Okay, as far as the good, I had to scrape the bottom of the barrel, but I'm going to go with Lila. It was good seeing her, and she called Diggle out on his shit because he needed it.
Right.
That's another good that I have bouncing off that one. The fact that Diggle finally came clean. It was stupid that it was fucking stupid that he held on to it that long, and then it took this many episodes into it for him to finally say, hey, I'm a smackhead.
Yeah, it was almost character assassination what they were doing with Diggle. But I like that they turned it around so quickly. There was a couple episodes ago that they introduced us to this drug thing, and I love that he came out to every single person on the team about this.
He did the responsible thing because he's an adult.
He is a grown-ass man.
Like his kid. Any more goods?
I gotta say, the only thing that was really keeping me into this episode were the fights.
There was one part that my boy Oliver tapped into his internal Keanu Reeves and summoned the power of John Wick.
Turned to John Wick, Neo, everybody.
Because the gunplay was nasty. It was so sick, it might have been AIDS. It was at least SWAT.
I would like to point out the horizontal drop kick that he did.
That was a straight cable kick. He was laying all the way horizontal when he hit this victim. It was beautiful.
Victims.
Yeah.
Plural. But piggybacking off the action, it has to go to Diggle, who shot a crossbow through tinted windows in the SUV to hit a USB port to activate the airbags. Bro, Oliver can't even do that. This motherfucker would hit tennis balls. This motherfucker's hitting real targets.
I gotta give it to our fight choreographer again. I mean,
You're on a roll.
Like it wasn't as as last week, but you gave us the moments that matter. You gave us some solid action. We didn't see anything that looked questionable or anything like that, and you gave us a couple of points. Like keep it going, keep it going. Like you are the hero that this season needs right now.
Yep. Another good for me will have to be, you know what I say every week, Samantha Watson.
She wasn't even in the episode.
But I felt her presence, and when that preview came on at the end of the episode, I felt it in my nether regions.
I clutched my pearl too. I was like,
Mr. Queen, you taking your ass to jail. All right, now we're gonna move into our bads. We have some bad spots in this episode. What we got?
Let me speak on this.
Go for it.
Okay, check this out. First of all, I didn't care too much for the slave flashbacks. I thought they were just in the way. Like, this episode didn't have enough, so they just shoved this in there. But the part that pissed me off the most was this Wolverine Jean Grey moment that happened in there, where Shadow comes in and hijacks the whole flashback. And the part that kills me about that is you never had an intimate moment with Shadow. I mean, while her and Oliver was tossing it under the sheets, you were in the corner touching yourself the whole time. So the fact that you have this image of Shadow falling in love with you and that she wants you, her dying declaration is for you to save her, is horseshit.
So this is why drugs is a bad thing, kids. All right, they have you believing some crazy shit that didn't actually happen.
Which brings me to another fucking bad. But the Mirakuru comes off and on like a fucking light switch. That's not how it works.
because the writers needed it to do that.
That's not
whatever the writer wants it to do.
That's not how it works.
Well, fuck you, that's why. So, I want to go back to what you were saying about the first good that you said. Because I thought it was interesting, because I thought they were doing way too much in this episode, and none of it honestly worked. We had the deal with the shit with Diggle. We had to introduce Richard Dragon. We had to do the shit with Oliver and the Deathstroke back over wherever the fuck they are. Then we had to do his flashbacks and shit, and we had to get the whole random Asian girl, I forgot her name because she obviously doesn't matter. And none of it, all of it was overstuffed and none of it worked, honestly.
Let me piggyback off that. Richard Dragon had the weakest entrance I've ever seen for a supervillain. Like, the shadowy figure in the back has been done before. And I was expecting him to come in with more,
You were expecting him to be a martial artist like he is in the comic book. Instead, he's just a run-of-the-mill drug.
He's just a hoodlum.
So I've seen Dryer Lint more interesting than Richard Dragon. I mean, Tobias Church did better than Richard Dragon. They're basically the same character.
And I think that's a waste of the actor that's playing Richard Dragon.
Because he has such incredible range.
Exactly.
The fact that he's been pretty much get downgraded to the Count, where he's just out there pushing drugs. Stupid.
Go watch Fringe. If you haven't heard of it, then what is wrong with you? You will see what I'm talking about with this actor. You wasted this actor on a thankless role, honestly.
Personally, I don't care too much for him in this role. We'll see what happens later. I don't see him much as a threat. Really, I don't see none of the villains this season as a threat. It irks me that they could not take down a drug dealer this episode.
The biggest villain of this whole entire season has been addiction. That's it. Diggle's addiction to whatever he's been stuffing in his body.
And
wasn't this season's 2 villain addiction?
Whoa. So I'm gonna throw in another bad. This episode fucking dragged.
The pacing was terrible.
I was ready to go home.
All right, now we're gonna move into our laurels. All right, what kind of issues do we have with this episode?
My issue has been the thing that we pointed out since the fucking thing started. The fact that Diggle turned to do a smack instead of going to Curtis, Felicity, Cisco, and Lila, who works at Argus, to get help, but rather turn to some stranger on the streets to do smack. This is the dumbest reason to give someone a problem ever. Like, I'm pretty sure the writers are better than this.
It's like they made dude go through all this shit, and then Mr. Terrific, who, by the way, should be for pointing this out, basically came in and said, there's a hole in the plot because I could just fix you with tech.
And that shut down the previous episodes. Like, then what was the fucking point?
Exactly.
Like, what's his unnecessary character development for Diggle, who's been a character since day 1, episode 1, that we didn't need?
And I feel like it was such a hand-wavy solution to the whole thing, even though we knew that this should have been an issue from jump when you first showed him in the alley getting high. But my thing is, why would you drag this out and then bring that up now? Like, you wasted our time.
And my second laurel is the fight between Slade and his son. Now, last week's episode, we saw Slade go to one-man wrecking crew where he pretty much did fatalities on 20 different people. You really gonna sit here and try to make me believe his son stood a chance? And that was another thing. The whole episode, my son. Shut the fuck up. Like, this was the most annoying shit ever.
Yeah.
Like, this, and then Oliver going back, Daddy, I got an A on my progress report. Shut the fuck up. Like this is annoying.
Like, everybody kids coming out the woodwork.
18-year-old boy acting like a 4-year-old. Like,
Diggle's son came in with his lunch pail from work. Asking his dad what his portion of the rent money is.
Like, John Diggle Jr. is almost a Green Arrow right now.
yeah.
Like, he's almost Connor Holt right now.
Let's get the age of these kids consistent, guys. Come the fuck on.
He ages like 2 years every other episode. It's kind of annoying.
And my final laurel of the episode, when y'all gonna give Oliver some booty from Felicity? He has been waiting for the dessert for the past 4 weeks, and every time this man tries to go get somebody interrupts. At one point, I would be like, fuck it. Well, you about to get an advanced education if you don't leave this room.
All right, so that wraps up our review for this episode of Arrow. Please come back like and subscribe. Let us know what you thought about the episode, your goods, your bads, your laurels for this episode, maybe this entire plot. Jump down in the comments, let us know. Like I said, be sure to like and subscribe.
Let's be real, you know this episode sucked. Oh, and one more thing. This weekend, if you are in Atlanta, we will be at Heroes and Villains, showing our ass, especially at the panels. So come join us. We probably get arrested.
Yeah, so join us back. Are we going to be on next week?
Yeah, we will.
Next week is Thanksgiving, so please look forward to a review from couple, I don't know.
Grab your fifth plate, grab your pumpkin pie and your turkey legs and your champagne.
Hey, we'll have a review for you.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, peace.
Turn that shit up!